Hey guys, Chris here, and today I wanted to share a quick idea on how we could be saving more money on different SaaS costs and how I implemented this idea in my own agency as well. I've been doing a lot of video generation, AI image generation, and so if you're doing this stuff for clients, at a high scale, costs really pile up. I was starting to look for different solutions and ways to, optimize the costs there. What we've been using before was Higgsfield, because they have a lot of different models and things in there, so it's easy to use. Then we started using KIE API. I'll write it down for you. This is the URL. It's a platform similar to Higgsfield, I guess, where, they have a lot of different models that you can source, and they have the pricing here. And what I really like about this is that you pay as you go. So, you can generate Nano Banana 2 images starting from 4 cents, going up to 9 cents. They have all kinds of video models and things. But something that kind of came as a feedback from my team was that they still really liked the Higgsfield user interface and how easy it was navigate and generate stuff there. They weren't so happy about the speed, but in general, the user interface experience was really nice. What I started thinking was, could I use Claude Code to generate a similar interface for us? So what I did was I fired up our anti-gravity workspace and I created a separate workspace just for AI image generation and those kinds of things. And I started prompting, telling it, asking Claude Code if it knows about Higgsfield, if it can do any research, about the user interface. I sent some screenshots and I asked Claude Code if we could create something similar for our agency. And now it's hosted on my computer right now, by the way. But this is the end result that I got after like 15-20 minutes of just vibe coding and prompting. And it's a fully usable application now. It uses KIE API on the background. So whenever you submit something, it goes through KIE API, uses their pricing, the credit-based thing. And it's a very similar result. And it allows us, right now we just use Nano Banana 2 Pro and Sora. I can add as many models here as I want. And a cool thing also is that I can make any improvements to this tool as I go, kind of shaping it around the workflows that we have. So for example, right now, I've been testing some stuff in here. Let's say I have the idea of I want to save my favorite example somewhere. So what I would do is I would go into my anti-gravity workspace. And then I would ask something like, hey, can we add a function so that I can save my favorite prompts / generations somewhere to potentially reuse them in the future? So this took a little bit longer than I was thinking, but it's ready now. So let's go refresh the page and see what the result looks like. So we have a favorites tab here. Really cool. And let's say we really like this one. Okay, so we have a star function here. And now as it starts, it's here and it's going to be under our favorites. And this just took one prompt. And so, whenever you're working, you're generating stuff, you can tailor your own application exactly to your work style and the way you like to work. You could add an API to help you generate the prompts in here, or you could add like references per client if you want to do client specific generations and you keep reusing similar things and so on. And so it becomes a really, really powerful tool and way more customized than any out of the box SaaS solution that you would buy out there. And of course, the benefit with this one specifically is also that there are no recurring monthly costs. I'm just paying as we go and based on our team's usage. And we're able to scale up the operations or scale down depending on how much demand we have going right now. So this is kind of one way I've been approaching it. And now, if you're thinking like, what about hosting and what about all of that stuff? For safety purposes, for example, right now, the way this specific system works is that I use KIE API and I make a specific API token for each user. So I can track, how much everyone is using and who's using how much and where. So I have control over the costs and I can send the application packages to my team members so they can run them locally on their own computers, just like I showed you right now. It's not out somewhere. Through doing that, you kind of minimize the potential risks. If you're not a developer, I'm not a developer, your team can host those locally and just use the signed APIs that they have. That's one of the really cool ideas that I've been working on lately. I hope you liked it. If you like these kinds of videos, leave a like and subscribe. And if you have any questions, I'll be happy to share the ideas with you. So thank you so much for watching and see you soon.